Hello students, in this class we discuss some basic problems of nuclear physics, and if we go through the chapter vividly, then the important formulas of nuclear physics are given here. Okay, that means we can calculate radius by using the formula r equal to r naught a to the power 1 by 3. R naught, that is the minimum value, that is value is 1.2 Fermi, with a is the nuclear mass number, volume, density, mass defect, binding energy, and that is the radioactive law, and that is the variation of radioactivity with the number of half lives, that here n equals to number of half lives, simply we can say n equal to small t by t half. Okay, and how can one measure half life of an radioactive sample? From given decay constant. Okay, and this is the time of decay, and to calculate the decay constant. So these are the some formulas that we use during the calculation of the problems. Okay, so at first, suppose given here calculate radius of germanium. Okay, suppose first we take a simple problem, calculate radius of germanium 70. Okay, that means generally we represent nucleus as x, z, a. Okay, that means here z is the mass number, sorry, z is the proton number or atomic number, and a is the mass number, or we can say that is the atomic mass number. Okay, so when x, z, a representation, and if we compare this two with the given data, then we find here the atomic mass number is given as 70. Okay, so the data, first before solving the problem, read the question vividly, understand what are the data given, and find what to calculate. Okay, then use the suitable formula as per the given data. Okay, so if we observe the germanium 70, then what is atomic mass number? Here the atomic mass number in case of germanium 70, that is atomic mass number is around 70, and given value, and the calculation is to find the radius. Okay, so we have to calculate the radius of the germanium nucleus. Okay, so r equals to r naught a upon 1 by 3. Okay, r naught, that is a to the 1.2 Fermi. Okay, so 1 Fermi is around 10 to the power minus 15 meter. So if you substitute value, r equals to 1.2 into 10 to the power minus 15, the value of r naught into 70 power 1 by 3. Okay, and if you calculate these values, then the radius of germanium nucleus will be 4.92 or 4.94 into 10 to the minus 15 meter. So that will be the radius of germanium nucleus. Understand? Second thing, let's calculate some density data, given data about the density. Okay, some problems also given to find out the density of any nucleus. Okay, suppose one data is given, calculate density of iron 2656. Okay, so what is the formula of density? So density is mass by volume. Okay, so when density, we calculate density, then it is important that the mass of the iron nucleus should be given, and here the mass of iron nucleus is given mass of iron, that is 55.85 atomic mass unit. Okay. So, this is the given data, and we have to find the density of the nucleus. So, first find the given data. Here mass of iron given 55.85 atomic mass unit, and you have to convert, that is mass density, that is mass by volume, and its unit is kg per meter cube. So, convert this data into kg. So, 55.85 upon 1 mu equal to 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. Okay. So, this will be the mass of the iron nucleus. Second thing, here the value of A, the value of A is 56, value of Z is 26. Okay. And the formula of density, rho equal to mass divided by volume. Okay. And the given mass is mass of iron. So, m by 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay. But here r is the radius, but radius is not given. Okay. And when the radius is not given, but we have to calculate the density. So, how one can find the radius? We know the general formula, r equals to r naught a upon 1 by 3. Okay. And here the value of A is 56. Okay. So, you can use the standard formula. So, that equals to m by 4 by 3 pi r naught q A. Okay. So, put all the datas. So, 55.85. So, while calculating your problem or while substituting the data, do not be panic. Okay. Always be stable and be steady. Okay. 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 divided by 4 by 3 into 3.14 with 1.2 into 10 to the power minus 15 whole cube times 56. Okay. And if you calculate, as we discussed in the theory, the density of the nucleus should be in the order of 10 to the power 7. Okay. So, that will be 2.9 into 10 to the power plus 17 kg per meter cube. So, that will be the density of the gold nucleus. Understand? Next. Another also we take about the, take an example about the also nuclear density when radius is given. Here mass number is given and mass of the nucleus is given. Okay. Another type of problem also arise, find the nuclear density with a given nucleus and with a given radius data. Okay. For example, calculate density of oxygen 816. Okay. So, in case of oxygen 816, the radius of 816 is around 3 into 10 to the power minus 15 meter. So, this is the given data. Okay. And using this data we have to calculate the nuclear density. Okay. So, what are the given values? In case of oxygen, the radius is 3 into 10 to the power minus 15 meter, and in case of oxygen atomic mass number is 16, Z is about 80. Okay. So, density, that is mass by volume. Okay. And now important is mass. Okay. And when we calculate the mass of any nucleus, we know mass of the nucleus is equal to 1.67 times number of nucleons. Okay. That is total mass equal to mass of any one nucleon with the total number of nucleons. Okay, that means mass of any one nucleus, that means we can take proton or neutron. So that value is 1.67 into 10 to the minus 27 times number of nucleons, or number of nucleons simply that is the mass number divided by volume 4 by 3 pi r cube. So there is no need of change the value because the radius is given here. Okay, so 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 into mass number is 16 divided by 4 by 3 into 3.14. So we'll put the value 3 into 10 to the power minus 15 whole cube. Okay, and the value will be 2.35 into 10 to the power 17 kg per meter cube. So this is also a one type of problem that have to calculate the density of the nucleus. Okay, now let us do some problem about the binding energy. Okay, and here the binding energy has two different formulas, that is one is binding energy equal to mass defect times square of velocity of light, and another one is mass defect times the energy, that means mass defect times 931 mega electron volt. Okay, so also some type of problems is about calculate binding energy of alpha particle. Okay, and the given datas, mass of proton is 1.007825, mass of neutron is equal to 1.08665, and mass of alpha particle is 4.002800 U. So these are the different data that given in the problem. Okay, and by using this data, so we have to calculate the binding energy of alpha particle. So let's do the problem. Okay, so first thing we know alpha, what is an alpha particle? Alpha particle is an double ionized helium nucleus. So you can say alpha particle means He24, that means it has a mass number of atomic mass number A equal to 4, okay, number of proton Z equal to 2, and number of neutron, that is A minus Z, that is also 2. Okay, so one alpha particle contains 2 proton, 2 neutron. Okay, and in order to calculate the binding energy, we have to first measure the mass defect, and we know mass defect is equal to mass of the constituent nucleons to the mass of nucleus. Okay, so there is a difference between actual mass of the nucleus and observed mass of the nucleus. Okay, so in order to calculate the binding energy, first we have to measure the mass defect. Okay, and mass defect equals to ZMP, here is the formula, ZMP plus A minus ZMN, or we can write NMN minus capital M. Capital M means that is mass of alpha particle, given mass, or we can say that is the mass, observed mass of the alpha particle. Okay, so put all the datas. ZMP, so Z value is 2, okay, into mass of proton 1.00782 plus 2 into 1.008665 minus mass of alpha is given here 4.002800 atomic mass unit, and if you calculate, so that will be 4.032980 minus 4.002800. Okay, and if we subtract, so that value is 0.0301 U. Okay, that's enough. Okay, 0.0301 U. Okay, So what is the binding energy? And the mass defect is in atomic mass unit, so we can use the second formula, delta m times 931 MeV. So delta m into 931 MeV, okay. So that will be 0.0301 into 931 MeV, okay. And if you calculate the value, H3 and the value will be around 28.097 MeV, okay. So this will be the mass of alpha particle, sorry, binding energy of alpha particle, understand? Okay. Okay. So next about binding energy per nucleon, okay. Binding energy per nucleons means we can say that is the average binding energy, okay. So when the average binding energy to calculate some for some nucleus, suppose the given data like calculate binding energy per nucleon, okay. Binding energy per nucleon for carbon 12 atom, okay. For carbon 12 atom, the given mass of carbon equal to 12 atomic mass unit, okay. So in order to calculate the binding energy per nucleon, so we have to first calculate the binding energy, and for the binding energy data we have to measure the mass defect, okay. So here come to the solution part. For carbon 612 nucleus, the value of atomic mass number A equals to 12, Z equals to 6 and N equals to A minus Z, that is 6, okay. And we know mass of proton, that is 1.007825 atomic mass unit, and mass of neutron, that is 1.008665, okay. So mass defect will be 6 into 1.007825 plus 6 into 1.008665 minus 12, okay. And when you calculate the data, that will be 12.0984 minus 12.000 or simply 12, okay. So that will be 0.09894 atomic mass unit, okay. So binding energy will be 0.09894 times 931 MeV, okay. Binding energy per nucleon, so nucleon number given is 12, so 0.09894 into 931 divided by 12, okay. So the value is around 7.86 MeV, okay. So that will be the binding energy per nucleon, okay. And remember, what is the maximum value of binding energy per nucleon from the binding energy curve? The value is 8.8 mega electron volt, and it is for iron nucleus, okay. Iron 2656 maximum value, and that will be the maximum stable, okay. So now take an example to calculate number of alpha particles or number of beta particles, okay. Suppose a radioactivity is given like when thorium nucleus converted to lead. Okay, there will be some emission of alpha and beta particles. Okay, question is given like calculate or how many alpha and beta particles will be emitted when thorium changes to lead. Okay, like how many alpha and beta particles are emitted when thorium changes to lead. Okay, when thorium changes to lead. Okay, this is also one type of problem to calculate a number of alpha and number of beta, and this type of problem maximally arises in your short question like multiple choice question. Okay, so how to calculate the number of alpha and number of beta if thorium changes to lead? Okay, so comes to solution. Okay, what is an alpha? First you have to know alpha means He24. Alpha is a helium nucleus. And what is an beta? Beta is a speed moving electron containing only one negative charge. Okay, suppose thorium 90-232 changes to lead 82-208. Okay, and in such radioactivity, number of alpha particle emitted, suppose x, number of alpha, suppose I take x, so number of alpha means He24. Okay, there are x number of alpha particles and y number of beta particles are emitted during this radioactivity. Okay, so here what we take, x equal to number of alpha, y equal to number of beta, number of alpha and number of beta. Okay, and always we discuss a nuclear disintegration, always obey, or a nuclear reaction always obey the conservation laws. Okay, like conservation of number of protons or conservation of atomic number and conservation of mass number. Okay, so by using these two conservation law we can calculate number of alpha and number of beta. Okay, number of conservation law means before radioactivity number of atomic number is equal to atomic number after the reaction. Okay, mass number before the reaction must be equal to mass number after the reaction. So there will be two different equations will arise from this nuclear reaction. So what is the, as per conservation of nuclear number, conservation of, simply I write here mass number, we can have 232 equals to 208 plus 4x plus 0. Okay, because y and here mass number is 0, so there is no need of mentioning here 0. Okay, second thing, as per conservation of atomic number, we have also 90 equal to 82 plus 2x minus y. Okay, there is two equation and there are also two values to be calculated. Okay, and here we can simply calculate here x, that is 4x equals to 232 minus 208, so that will be 24. Okay, so x will be 6. So x is the number of alpha, So there are 6 alpha particles, and if you substitute here the value of x, so that will be 90 equal to 82 plus 12 minus y. So 82 12 that will be y equals to 2. 2 to 4, y equal to 4. So there are 4 beta particles and 6 alpha particles emitted when thorium converted to lead. Okay, understand? Now another type of problem is on half life. Okay, so depending upon half life period, we know there are 2 different formulas. Half life period may be arise upon this formula, and there is also this formula. Here n is the number of half lives. Okay, so a question is like, the half life of radium is 1600 year, radium is 1600 year. Okay, in how many years? Okay, 25% of radium remains undecayed. Okay, in how many years? %25 of radium remain undecayed. Okay, so first, what are the given datas? This one is very important. This one is very important problem for your board examination. So here what is given value? Given half life of the radium, T half equals to 1600 year. Okay, and to calculate, here we have to calculate how many years 25% of the radium remain undecayed. Okay, suppose n is the number of undecayed value. Okay, and we know n equals to n naught 1 by 2 power n, where n is the number of half lives. Okay, n is the number of half lives, but given here 25% remain undecayed. Okay, 25% remain undecayed means we can say n equal to 25%, and that means number of samples undecayed. Okay, n is the number of sample undecayed or remaining sample, 25% of its initial value. Okay, so 25% means we can say that is 25 by 100 into n0. Okay, so that implies to n equals to n0 by 4. So that implies to n by n0 equal to 1 by 4 or 1 by 2 power n. Sorry, 1 by 2 power 2. So compare this with this formula. Okay, so here we can write n by n naught equal to 1 by 2 power n, and if we compare these values, so that will be 2. Okay, so number of half life, that means after 2 half life the sample remain undecayed, that is n equals to 2. Okay, so the total time of decay, will be T equals to n T half. Total time of decay, that is n equal to n T half, that means 2 into 1600 year, so that is 32 year. Okay, so after 32 year, the 25% of 3200 year, 25% of the radium nucleus remain undecayed if the half life of the radium will be 1600 years. Okay, understand? Now another type of problems also you can face about same type of calculation but given data as activity. Okay, so what is the type of problem? So here the half life of any radioactive sample material is given if the activity drops 1/16 of its initial value in 30 years. Okay, so like the given problem, find the half life of any radioactive material half life of any radioactive material if its a sample, if its activity drops 1/16 of its initial value in 30 years. In 30 years. Okay, come to solution part. So what are the given data here? So given is the activity drops 1/16 of its initial value, that means initial activity. Okay, so R equal to 1/16 of R0. Okay, and R by R0 equal to 1/16. Okay, so this equal to 1/2 power 4, but the general formula, that is R equal to R0, R by R0 equal to 1/2 power n, that is the number of activity. Okay, so if you compare, so that will be 4. Okay, so total number of half life will be 4. Okay, so half life period we know small n equal to T capital T power half, so that implies to T half equals to small n, small n equal to small t by T half, it implies to T half equal to small t by n. So small t time is given 30 by n equals to 4, that is 7.5 years. Okay, so after 7.5 years the activity of the sample drops 1/16 of its initial value. Okay, so these are the some types of problems on radioactivity as well as in nucleus type problem. Okay, so referring to these problems you may calculate you may solve the other problems given in the textbook, and if you have any problem during the calculation, then you can contact me. Okay, so I think all of you get some basic idea how to solve the nuclear physics problems. Okay, and also in last class we have already calculated how to calculate some Q value of a nuclear reaction. Okay, so by solving all the problems you may clarify what type of problems will you face in your board exams. Okay, thank you.